म्यानुफ्याक्चर अफ द सिमेन्ट पढ्नुहोस्। म्यानुफ्याक्चर अफ सिमेन्टमा सबभन्दा पहिला हामीलाई र मेटेरियल चाहिन्छ। र मेटेरियलमा चाहिँ लाइमस्टोन, क्ले एन्ड जिस्पम। त्यसै गरी लाइमस्टोनको मेन काम भनेको चाहिँ यसले चाहिँ क्याल्सियम अक्साइड CaO दिन्छ नि। क्याल्सियम अक्साइड भनेको तिमीलाई क्याल्सियम कार्बोनेटलाई हामी हिटिङ गऱ्यो भने क्याल्सियम कार्बोनेट प्लस कार्बन डाइअक्साइड आउँछ। त्यसै गरी क्लेमा चाहिँ हामी साल्ट लिन सक्छौँ, सिलिकाको, एल्मुनिया र फेरिक अक्साइडको। तिनटैको सिलिका भनेको SiO2 फर्मुला, अनि एल्मुनिया भनेको Al2O3 र फेरिक अक्साइड भनेको Fe2O3। त्यस्तै गरी जिस्पम साल्टलाई चाहिँ सेटिङ अफ सिमेन्टमा स्ट्रेन्थ पुऱ्याउँछन्। इट प्रोभाइड स्ट्रेन्थ टु द सेटिङ अफ द सिमेन्ट। आफ्टर द्याट raw material is completed, and the second point is mixing of raw material. Mixing of raw material is a simple process where the raw material are mixed by dry process or wet process. It will include two processes, dry process or wet process. And wet process is defined as the limestone and the clay are crossed separately to a fine powder. In this process, the limestone and the clay are crossed to a fine powder, which due to a various process. After that, the second process is wet process, and as like above, in this process also the limestone and the clay are crushed to a suitable size and mixed it with water to make slurry. In wet process, in simply the wet process meaning is that a fine powder or a crushed powder is mixed with water to make a slurry. That's why it is called a wet process. And the third point is burning. This is a burning chamber, and this burning is done in a rotatory kiln, and the rotatory kiln is a steel tube which is about 2.5 to 3 meter in diameter. Its structure is like 2.5 to 3 meter in diameter, and after that it is 120 meter. It is 120 meter in length, and the tube is lined with a fire brick, and the raw material is fed from the upper end of the rotatory kiln, while the burning is done from the lower end. After that, this burning chamber contains a various zone, and the first zone is drying zone. Drying zone means moisture and slurry which is done in the wet process gets evaporated in this zone, drying zone. After that, second zone is calcination zone. In calcination zone, limestone decomposes to give calcium oxide and carbon dioxide at 100 degree. When we decompose the calcium carbonate at 100 degree, then it gives calcium oxide and carbon dioxide as a gas, and the carbon dioxide releases from this zone. And third zone is clinkering zone. It is one of the hottest zone of the burning chamber or cling zone, which temperature is about 1400 degrees Celsius to 1600 degrees Celsius. In this zone, lime and clay, only lime and no need to take limestone, lime and clay are fused together to form a calcium silicate and calcium aluminate. And clinkering zone, various reaction is done, such as calcium oxide plus silica, which gives 2 calcium oxide dicalcium silicate. And second reaction is 3 calcium oxide plus silica, 3 calcium oxide tricalcium silicate, 3 calcium oxide plus aluminate gives tricalcium aluminate. And the fourth one is 4 calcium oxide plus Al2 aluminate plus ferric oxide, which gives tetracalcium aluminate ferrite, which is done in a clinkering zone. It is one of the most important and hottest zone of the kiln. And the fourth one is cooling. And this is a simple process where the clinkering, which is obtained through the clinkering zone, is cooled by the steam of air. And the fifth one is grinding. The cooled clinker, which are obtained from the cooling, are ground to a fine powder, or breaking down it into a smaller size to a fine powder after clinkering zone is completed. And the last one is adding a gypsum salt. In this process, a small quantity such as 2 or 3% of gypsum is added, where the gypsum is act as a retarding agent. As we know already, the molecular formula of gypsum is CaSO4.2H2O, and this foam acts as a deterring agent, which helps in the early setting of the cement, and the powder obtained after the grinding is called Portland cement. After adding this foam, the powder which we get is known as Portland cement, and the reaction which occur after adding this foam is 3CaO.aluminate.CaSO4.2H2O gives tricalcium sulfoaminate. And this is a flow state diagram, where at first we have to take a raw material, and as we know, the raw material may be limestone, clay, and silica, and limestone, which is crushed. After that, clay is washing, and both are processed through a grinding. And after grinding, and they go through the respective process, or the dry process or wet process. And after they went through this process, they went to the burning chamber, which is also known as rotary kiln. And in this kiln, they are grind into a fine clinker. After clinkering, they move to the grinding process, where they are broken down into a particular size. And after that, gypsum salt is added according to the needed. And after adding the gypsum salt, the obtained powder is known as the Portland cement, and hence the Portland cement is obtained, which is packed in the package and send it to the required customers.